Welcome back, dear viewers, with our second guest. So hold your horses and hold your seats, because this is an interesting guest. For the first time ever ballet production by local artists of LAPA dance company LDC, taking place here at the American University of Kuwait AUK auditorium on the 13th and 31st of January. Inspired by Vivaldi's The Four Seasons, one of the most iconic works in classical music history. This original neoclassical ballet is brought to life through the visionary choreography of Dr. Tina Zudovic, head of the dance department of the president, and the president by the LDC artists. So join me to welcome Dr. Tina. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Kuwait.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. We're talking about ballet, so it's kind of new here in Kuwait, but we're talking about Vivaldi. You're going to present Vivaldi here in Kuwait in a, let's say, a ballet production. So tell me about the beginning of Dr. Tina. How did you start as a former ballet dancer?
I started, like many young girls, enchanted in the world of dance and classical ballet, watching it in the theater, on the TV, and where I could. So first, this passion for elegance and for beautiful, effortless movement drove me to it. I trained extensively first in Croatia, and then I continued my education in Hungarian Dance University in Budapest. I was there for 3 years. And after that, I was dancing professionally with the Croatian National Ballet in Zagreb and Rijeka, in my hometown as well, as a soloist for about a decade. Toured internationally, and yeah, that was how the career started before I moved to
Yeah, but tell me about
teaching.
the time period before transitioning to teaching. For how long you've been doing that? Let's talk about how long.
For about a decade, for about 10 years, I've been dancing professionally. Our professional time frame, let's say, in which the dancers are at their peak is not very long because of the very high demand on the physical body.
Yes.
So the career ends quite quickly, let's say, and it's similar to professional sports.
Yes.
You are doing it whilst you are very young, at the peak of your powers.
It's also kind of a sport. It's not an easy, let's say, kind of art to be committed to. Exactly.
Yes, it's very similar to professional sport. It definitely blends that world with the artistry and with the storytelling, and with all of this that comes with ballet as an art form, in addition to its being a proper professional sports in the way it's been trained.
Yeah, so it's not easy. But once I read a report that female ballerinas are different from male dancers in terms of standing on their toes.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah, so
yes,
so it's more pressure on the women than the. Well, that's interesting.
It is. It takes long time to master the technique of standing on your feet, on the point of the foot. You have special ballet shoes done for that, which are hard at the fronts. But it takes years, obviously, to create a proper muscular support for the body to be able to not just stand on point, but turn, to pirouette, to do some very demanding and complicated movements, and balancing on that very tiny space on the top of the shoe.
Exactly. So now let's talk about the production. Let's talk about ballet. We know it has different styles and different schools. So I'm sure that you are affected, let's say, more professional in the, let's say, Russian side, because they say that there is, let's say, Venetian, there is Parisian, and there is also English and American. But you said from where you studied, the Russian ballet school is more, let's say, emotional?
Yes, I would say it's more emotional. It puts an emphasis on especially on the moves of the arms.
Yes.
On the what we call épaulement, also on the way that the head is carried and then coordinated with the moves of the arms. Russian ballet school is very artistically strong, very I'd say profound and deep in its way that approaches the display of all the varied emotions that have to be there at the performance. The other schools are also making this emphasis on musicality, on technique, on different things, but I believe that Russians have mastered it to the perfection.
Yes, to express the emotions for the, let's say, for the musical notes, also for the, let's say, translating the emotions of the choreographer to the audience, let's say the delivery of the whole production. Now let's talk about, also still in the ballet, we know that ballet is associated with elegance and specific body types. So what is still true about it?
Yes, ballet is associated with a specific body type. It's been like that historically, and it's still like that to a point, especially in professional world of ballet, when we talk about theater and professional performance. But there's a reason for that. It's not purely for the aesthetic reason. Obviously, there is the aesthetic reason as well, but it's also mostly for the functionality. So you have to compare it, let's say, to the professional sport, which I mentioned previously. So to achieve the highest performance and safe performance, the body needs to be managed properly. It has to be trained. There has to be a certain muscular strength there, flexibility. And then also there is a weight management as well.
Exactly, we're talking about
because of
the functionality
and achieving the optimal performance. Yes. You know how rigorous the top athletes are when it comes to their eating habits, to their diet, to achieve performance to the top standard. That's the same way.
Let's say, to achieve perfection in that, let's say, field or game. It's because in ballet, it's all about perfection. You need to provide, let's say, a glimpse of perfection.
Yes, and to seemingly perform in an effortless way, to look so elegant and so harmonious and balanced in the way you are moving together with the music. Yes, you truly need to be trained very, very dedicatedly in a specific way with a lot of repetition and time spent in the dance studio, so that you do avoid injury and perform to a certain standard.
It requires a lot of dedication.
A lot of hard work and dedication.
Yeah, and dedication. Now, away from the techniques and functionality, let's talk about LAPA, the training center. Let's talk about the age groups and how do you adapt your, let's say, techniques to be aged, let's say, appropriate or friendly. We know there are certain age groups and there are older people who wishes to, let's say, practice or to be more involved in dancing. How can you, with your experience, let's say, develop or operate that kind of training?
I believe beauty of ballet is in its approachability for any body type and any age group, honestly. Like if we are talking about professional ballet and theater dance, then it's a different thing what we discussed just previously. But when we talk about doing ballet for your hobby, then it really opens up its doors for any body type and anyone who wants to enjoy it. In LAPA, we offer classes for children to adults, so for a whole full range of ages. Yes. The way the student is trained is of course different depending on their age and on their physicality, on their biological readiness, their mental readiness, and so on. So then the teacher has to come to the front and their knowledge in child development or in their knowledge in appropriate instruction that is specific for the young and specific for the teenagers and again specific for the adults. When we talk about younger children, then the main thing to develop in them is the love for the art form, the love for dance,
if you don't love it, if you don't love it, you're not going to work on it.
Correctly, they will not continue. They will maybe give up on the way. So the main thing I think is to develop the love for dance in the children, and they also have to tap into their creativity. Yes, they need to work on small tasks where they are trying to come up with some movements, together with leading them appropriately in a safe way through some first steps in ballet, starting from the most basic pliés, relevés, and some ballet walks, and also through games and through play. Children learn how to master the art form, and then gradually, of course, as they are maturing, their training becomes more more
aggressive and more advanced.
More advanced, more, I would say, comprehensive.
Yes.
More comprehensive.
More comprehensive,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, let's jump into the upcoming event, Vivaldi Four Seasons. Tell me about the evening, and that would take place on the 13th and 31st of January in AUK. What is Seasons, and why is this the must-see event, let's say before Ramadan?
The Seasons is a tribute to the concerts and the beauty of Antonio Vivaldi's iconic score that I think everyone knows.
Yes.
The Four Seasons. We are bringing to Kuwait for the first time a professional ballet production, neoclassical ballet production with some contemporary dance parts as well. And I believe it will truly enchant the audience. It will give them a breath of fresh air in the time when I believe all of us need some sort of hope and new beginnings, and that's what Seasons are all about. It's a metaphor for transformation, for new beginnings,
yes.
for the cycle of life.
Exactly.
And then ahead of Ramadan, I think
ahead of Ramadan.
it's also
it's
topical.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice, especially here in the good weather. We like to do, let's say, new activities, something out of the ordinary, because Ramadan is a season for, let's say, worship, family and gathering. We don't have enough time to go outdoor or to do any, let's say, artistic activities. So, Dr. Tina, thank you very much for joining us in Kuwait, and good morning, Kuwait, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I'm sure the production is gonna be amazing. I will try my best to attend.
It would be a pleasure to see you there, and thank you again for having me.
It's our pleasure. So, my dear viewers, now we jump into, let's say, our second or third report for the day. You know, they provide specialized speech and language therapy for children with diverse development or development needs. Their occupational therapy team supports children in developing mature sensory and daily living skills. Work with children with different disorders, including speech delay, autism, spectrum disorder, ADHD, and global development delays. Assess children with typical development who face challenges in speech, cognition, learning, or even writing skills. So let's see the following report to know more, and stay tuned.